All right, folks, let's dive into something weird. Something that's been gnawing at my brain like a rabid dog chewing a bone. I was flipping through the History Channel, yeah, that black hole of WW documentaries, and they had this 3-hour deep dive on Adolf Hitler. You know, the mustache-wearing, world-wrecking psychopath, and it hit me like a freight train. Why the hell don't you ever meet anyone with the last name Hitler? I mean, come on. You're telling me this guy didn't have a single cousin? No Uncle Fritz Hitler running a bakery? No second cousin Ed Hitler fixing pipes? Showing up on time? Maybe sneaking a beer on lunch break? Nobody think about it, this dude's evil was so monstrous, so soul-crushingly vile, that his entire family tree got chainsawed down and burned. Poof, gone. The name Hitler didn't just vanish, it was obliterated, erased from the phone book, the baby name lists, the whole damn universe. You don't just stumble across a Hitler at a Starbucks, ordering a latte, like, "Hey, I'm Dave Hitler, make it quick." Nah, that name's been exiled to the shadow realm, locked in a vault with Satan's diary and Judas's Yelp reviews. And it's not just the last name, nobody's naming their kid Adolf either. Can you imagine some couple in a hospital, cradling their newborn, all teary-eyed, going, "Let's call him Adolf. It's got a nice ring. Right, strong. Historical vibe." The room would freeze. The doctor would drop the clipboard. The nurse would sprint for the exit. That name's radioactive. Folks, it's like trying to name your kid Plague or Apocalypse. It's not just a name. It's a curse. A black hole of shame that sucks in anyone dumb enough to touch it. But here's what gets me. How evil do you gotta be to get your name retired like that, I mean? Hitler's not just in the Evil Hall of Fame. He's the damn curator. His legacy's so toxic. It's like his name got sent to a witness protection program. And I'm sitting here, fascinated. Because this isn't just about one guy. It's about how we, as a species, decide to banish certain names into oblivion when someone screws up bad enough to make the history books bleed. So, let's unpack this, because it's a wild ride, and I'm dragging you all with me. So, picture this. There's got to be some secret ceremony when a name gets retired. Right, like, when someone's evil hits critical mass, they don't just let the name fade, they hold a freaking ritual. I'm imagining a dark, smoky room, deep in some government basement, with a bunch of grim-faced bureaucrats in robes, chanting, "No more Hitlers, no more Hitlers." They've got a giant book of names, and they're slashing Adolf out with a quill dipped in ink blacker than a serial killer's heart. It's dramatic, it's final, and it's got to feel like a punch to the gut for anyone who shares that name. And it's not just Hitler. Think about other names that got the boot. You ever meet an Attila like, "Yo, this is my buddy Attila. He's chill. Works at Best Buy." Nope. Attila, the Hun torched half of Europe, and now his name's a ghost, haunting history textbooks and nowhere else. Or Judas, man. That's a cool name, right? Sounds like a rock star. But Judas Iscariot, the guy who sold out Jesus for a handful of coins, ruined it for everybody. You name your kid Judas, and people are like, "Whoa, you trying to raise the Antichrist?" That name's been sent to the Phantom Zone, retired with a ceremony so brutal it makes the Oscars look like a kiddie party. Now, imagine the retirement ceremony itself. They roll out a red carpet, but it's stained with the tears of history's victims. They hoist the name up like a jersey in the rafters, except the arena's filled with the ghosts of every dictator, betrayer, and lunatic who ever lived. Hitler's up there, high-fiving Genghis Khan, while Judas is in the corner, sulking. Like, I only betrayed one guy. It's a twisted hall of fame. And the entry fee is eternal infamy. You don't just get in for shoplifting or jaywalking. You gotta break the world in half. Leave scars that bleed for centuries. But here's the kicker, not every evil name gets retired. Some slip through the cracks, and that's where it gets weird. Like, why do we still have Jeffrey Dahmer was out there murdering, eating people, turning his apartment into a horror show? And yet, parents are still naming their kids Jeffrey, like it's no big deal. Oh, little Jeffrey's gonna be a doctor. Meanwhile, I'm thinking, yeah. Or he's gonna open a butcher shop with a very special menu. How does Dahmer not get the name ban hammer? But Hitler does. What's the cutoff for eternal name exile? All right, let's talk about this messed up leaderboard of evil names. There's gotta be a ranking. Right, like a cosmic scoreboard where we decide which names get yeeted into oblivion and which ones get a pass. Hitler's at the top, obviously grand champion of infamy, the gold medal monster who turned his name into a synonym for apocalypse. But why him? Why does his name get the guillotine while others skate by, I mean? Dahmer's out here racking up a body count, grilling human ribs like it's a Sunday barbecue. And yet, Jeffrey is still a top 100 baby name. What gives? Think about it. Dahmer must have been livid in hell, looking up at Hitler like, bro, I ate 30 people. 30. And they're still naming kids. Jeffrey. Where's my respect? It's like there's an evil Olympics, and Dahmer's stuck with the bronze while Hitler's got the platinum trophy. And don't get me started on other names that dodged the ban. Take Charles. Charles Manson had his cult, his murders, his whole helter-skelter insanity. But you still meet Chucks at the hardware store, buying screws and humming Beatles tunes. Why's Charles fine? But Adolf is a death sentence. It's like society's got this unwritten rule book for name retirement. And it's wildly inconsistent. You gotta hit a certain evil threshold genocide level. World-shattering stuff to get your name erased. Betray one Messiah, boom. Judas is done. Burn down civilizations. Sorry, Attila, your name's toast. But kill a dozen people in a creepy basement, huh? You're still cool. Jeffrey. It's a bizarre grading system, and I'm obsessed with cracking it. Like, what's the magic number? How many atrocities do you gotta commit before your name gets sent to the shredder? And it's not just about the act. It's about the cultural splash. Hitler didn't just commit crimes. He became the face of evil, the boogeyman of the 20th century. His name's a trigger, a wound that still festers. Judas. He's the ultimate backstabber, a name that screams betrayal. But Dahmer, Manson, they're horrific. Sure, but they're not symbolic in the same way. Their names don't carry the same gut punch weight, so maybe it's not just about body count or bloodshed. Maybe it's about how deeply you scar the collective psyche. That's the ticket to getting your name banned for eternity. And I'm weirdly jealous of the power it takes to pull that off. So, here's where it gets real. A name isn't just a word, it's a legacy. A piece of you that echoes through time. When someone like Hitler poisons his name, it's not just his story that suffers. It's everyone who shared that name, everyone who might have carried it proudly. Imagine being Hans Hitler, a baker in 1930, making strudels, living a quiet life. Then your distant cousin goes and burns the world down. Suddenly, your name's a prison, a scarlet letter you can't escape. You're not just Hans anymore, you're that Hitler. And you're dodging glares at the grocery store for something you didn't do. That's the tragedy buried in the comedy. These name bans aren't just about punishing the guilty, they screw over the innocent. 2. Families forced to reinvent themselves, to shed their history like a snake sheds skin. And it's not just Hitler. Think about the Judases, the Attilas, all those folks who lost their names to history's monsters. It's a collateral damage we don't talk about, a ripple effect that lingers for generations. You're not just erasing a name, you're erasing identities, stories, whole branches of humanity. But let's flip it. What does it say about us that we do this? We're the ones swinging the ban hammer, deciding which names are too toxic to survive. It's like we're trying to purge evil from our vocabulary, as if crossing out Hitler from the baby books will somehow cleanse the past. It's a desperate, almost pathetic attempt to control history's ghosts. And yet, we're inconsistent as hell letting Jeffrey slide, while Adolf gets the electric chair. Are we really protecting ourselves? Or are we just playing a game of symbolic whack-a-mole with our guilt? Here's the big question, and I'm leaving it with you. What happens when a name gets retired? Does it really erase the evil? Or does it just bury it, letting it fester in the shadows? If we ban Hitler, but keep Jeffrey, are we picking and choosing our demons? Or are we admitting that some scars are too deep to heal? And what about the future? Who's next on the chopping block? Some tech bro, a politician, a TikTok star gone rogue? I don't know, folks, but I'm watching, and I'm betting there's another name out there, waiting to be burned. What do you think? Who's gonna be the next to get their name sent to the void?